Today we're going to be talking about Facebook and the recent video that Mark Zuckerberg recently launched and my opinions and my experience as a Facebook advertiser. And I want to talk about some of the things that I feel about his recent video. We're going to bring it up as a reaction kind of style video today. I'm going to talk about some of the things I observed and some of the things I've seen running ads for the last year on Facebook ads. So for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Joey Babineau. I'm an online affiliate marketer, and I've been doing affiliate marketing since 2002. And I've been running Facebook ads for a very long time. And we'll say around 2015, I hit a pretty big breakthrough with Facebook ads where I was running a lot of traffic there. And then I think a lot of affiliate marketers were doing really well at that time. And then something happened where everybody started getting banned on Facebook. No matter what you posted on Facebook ads, it seemed like they were banning everything. And if you went to communities like Reddit or other communities out there, you would find that many companies just doing innocent things were getting banned. Even small businesses where their whole livelihood was based on advertising on Facebook, they were getting banned for silly things that didn't make sense. And it really caused a lot of turmoil over the years for advertisers, especially on the Facebook ads platform. And affiliates at some point had to just kind of pivot and move to other places, at which point I moved to Google ads and had a massive success on Google ads. And I still run Google ads, and I in fact run more traffic now on Google ads than I do on Facebook ads. So that whole dynamic that happened there didn't happen for everybody. Some people still, found ways to beat the system, get multiple accounts, find ways to cloak ads just so that you could get them through, even though they were compliant. And just it became a whole mess of business practices for a lot of advertisers out there. So if you're in that boat, then I think what we've seen in the last 24 hours comes as maybe no surprise, and maybe I think it's going to help a lot of advertisers moving forward. In fact, looking at my accounts for the last year, I've noticed a lot of leniency in Facebook ads. And I think just the announcement yesterday is kind of after the fact that they've already implemented a lot of the things he's talking about. So we're going to talk about that now. Let's talk about what's actually happening. So I want to bring up first the actual stock of Facebook, because we have to talk about the purpose of what's happening here. I really believe that a lot of this has to do with the fact that Facebook is now publicly traded. And you can see over the last 5 years, there was a big slump down here, pretty much the same time when automation was coming in and kind of wiping out everybody's ads. I'm not saying that's what the cause of this slump was, but there was a lot of turmoil happening in the company itself, along with other tech companies, as well as, we had COVID, all of this stuff happening that brought the stock down. And then for the last, say, couple of years, we're just dramatically going up. And in the last year, I've spent more money on Facebook than I did in the last 3 years, we'll say, prior to that. And I think that's happening with a lot of other advertisers too. At least that's my opinion. I don't know this for a fact. And it comes down to, I think, smarter systems. A lot of the things that he said yesterday in his video, here's the video if you haven't watched it. We're going to turn it on here in a second and talk about some of the things he's saying. But keep in mind, I think a lot of this it was blown out of proportion with regard to the political side of things, even though, of course, it appears that he's, full support of Trump, and him and Trump are working together now and all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into politics on this channel, so I'm not going to talk about that. I want to talk about the advertising side of it and the account structures and the value of Facebook going forward, because I really think that's why this decision has been made, more so to build the company the way it's supposed to be built, which is through free speech and allowing people to basically say things that aren't going to be triggered by some AI robot that mistakenly thought a comment was perhaps against the law or something just because of one word. So I think the system is getting smarter. So let's watch some of this video here, and I will provide my comments here moving through it.
I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people.
Okay, so raise your hand if you've ever set up a Facebook ad account, posted one ad, and lost your account immediately. This is basically what I'm talking about here. And he, I believe, is talking about that aside from, of course, other people that are just using Facebook. But let's talk about it from the advertising side of things and how many times people have gone in and maybe mistakenly put a credit card that wasn't matched to their country or something weird like that. Of course, there are bad players, but sometimes we're doing things legit. Maybe we're on vacation, we're adding a credit card. All of a sudden, your ad account is banned for life. And this happens all the time. At least it did happen all the time. This is basically where I see an opportunity here now for advertisers to come back into the game. In fact, over the last year, there's been cases where I've talked to friends of mine who are doing online advertising who have been able to go back and get their old ad accounts back. And all of this obviously has to continue to happen if Facebook wants to build up that stock market or that stock price and get more revenue. If they're going to keep constantly banning accounts by mistake, there's a huge amount of money. And when he says 1%, think about 1% of advertising spend that they're losing. And I bet you it's even more. I think he's just making up the 1% number. So I just wanted to say that.
After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
So content is massive and when it comes to ads, and oftentimes we say words and we trigger the bot to ban us based on some specific content policies that we've never broken. For example, if you say the word weight loss, but you're talking about some completely different product, you could have lost your account immediately just for the word weight loss back in the day. So I think by lightening up on content policy, this is going to be a huge thing for advertisers in terms of not losing their accounts for simple mistakes.
Started as a movement to be more inclusive, has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action. The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms.
This doesn't specifically mean that he's talking about the ad platform. However, it is the same system as the regular social media platform. And I believe he is referencing when people are commenting and talking about other things on their own profiles, because of course, a lot of profiles are getting banned too. But with respect to the advertising side of it, for myself, over the last year, I think they've already implemented better systems for automating their ad policy reviews. And it's just a fact that I've spent a lot more money in 2024 than ever over the last 3 years prior to that. Now, in 2010 to 2015, I spent a lot of money because this is way before the automations were in place, it seemed. And a lot of that was human reviews. And so I think we're moving back into a space where Facebook is going to allow advertisers some more leniency, or at least perhaps we get to a point where rather than an instant ban of our Facebook accounts, maybe they will just ban the ads themselves, ban the domain names that maybe have violated certain rules, but still keep the advertisers intact to come back and try again with real ads that aren't breaking policy. And I think that would be a very smart move, especially for the stock price of Facebook.
We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed, so we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote...
Okay, so this is another interesting one, and it comes down to the pressure that they are receiving from privacy policies around not only the United States, but also in other countries. And I think we're going to see some changes there with how Facebook manages that. But now we're getting into some more data and privacy issues and politics. So I'm not going to go any further on this commentary, but I recommend that if you do want more information, come watch this video from Mark Zuckerberg. And now I just want to kind of open the floor to people's comments, what they're thinking and what they're seeing on their Facebook ads as they continue in their business model. If you've lost your account before, share your comments, what you think is going to happen. Is this only for Facebook users, or do you think this is going to help Facebook advertisers? In my opinion and my experience, like I said, I have seen major changes in ad policy violations on my ad account, where most of my ads now are getting approved right away. And if I do get one or two ads that trigger, they aren't getting a full ban on the account like they used to. So this is good news for advertisers, I think, overall. And I think there's a lot of things we're waiting on to see what happens here, especially for certain industries that may have been blocked before. There might be some opportunity to get back into Facebook ads. So not only am I happy as a Facebook advertiser with some of these changes, I'm also happy as a Facebook stock owner. I think it's going to be good for the stock itself. But that's another point altogether. I wanted to finish this video by going into Reddit and showing just how big of a problem this has been for people over the years, where in Reddit there's an actual group dedicated to Facebook disabled me. And if you go in here and search Facebook ads disabled or Facebook ad account disabled, you're gonna see thousands of threads and thousands of comments from people who have lost their ad accounts or lost their Facebook accounts based on automation. Automation is what has killed these accounts most times. I even have friends close to me who have said something that might have triggered one word in their policy bank that kind of blocked their account forever. And I think that is what they're concerned about, because it's really annoying as users, more so than just being able to say what we want to say. So I think in terms of free speech, this is a great thing for everybody going back into these platforms and not worrying if we're going to get banned because we said something that triggered a bot to tell us that we said something wrong. So that's it for today. If you got any value out of that video, please go ahead and subscribe or like the video, share it with your friends. And I'd love to hear more comments from people who actually run ads. What your thoughts are. Do you think this is good or bad, or does it even matter?